Welcome to the Squared Circle Gridiron. I am Don Wayne with Ricky and Ron. And before we get started, I'm going to tell you right now, I am a hot mess. There is playoff baseball on. My Braves are on. And I'm trying to watch out of the side of my eye this game. I might not be worth two shits today, boys, but I'm going to hold it together the best I can. Ricky's sitting there watching it live, and Ron's having a good time because he's got no stress in this world.
Nope. I wish I did, though.
How you guys doing tonight?
How you guys
good,
doing,
man.
huh?
Great.
I'm doing all right, Phil. Feeling a little rough, a little head cold turned into a chest cold now. Kicking my ass a
We
little
got
bit.
We got to get you better, brother. Got to get ready.
Well,
so I guess there's no point in holding off, right? We need to get right into this because there was some big games this weekend.
Let's go.
Georgia, I've been calling my shot for weeks. I've been saying if you let this team keep gelling, eventually it's going to click. There's too much talent on this team. They had a little bit of a tough game last week against Auburn. They let them run on them a little bit. Tell you what, boys, they came out this week and fired on all cylinders. Brock, 389 yards and 4 touchdowns. They are a team to be reckoned with again. The SEC let them keep hanging around. And here comes Brock Bowers. They figured out that guy is more than just a tight end. He is a receiver in this game. He can do a lot of stuff. I was thoroughly impressed. And I got to tell you, Georgia's getting hot. If this was the first of many, it's right on time. Ron, you've been saying you doubted them. What do you say now?
Man, I'm a believer.
You're a believer now.
Oh, my. But this is what I've been waiting for to see. You know what I mean? I've been waiting to see this kind of domination. I mean, they dominated all phases of the game. It was clean. It was just Brock Bowers, man. Oof.
He's a different type of athlete, man. He's just a different type of athlete.
And I thought going into the game, okay, so if they can stop him, they'll have a good chance. But no, he has the good wide receivers too and good running game. No, that was a complete game.
Yeah, it's just a different animal when you play them and they get going. They do have a lot of weapons. Like I said at the beginning of the year, they have so many young players on that team that was going to take a while to gel. Well, it looks like they're starting to figure this out. And I know Kentucky is pretty high on the defense. They're pretty highly ranked. They're pretty highly touted. I'm ready to go, man. I mean, it's go time, baby. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We got Manny in the house. Larry's on his way home. We appreciate you guys as always. Shout out to Motorhead getting well in the hospital. Thinking of you, buddy. Thoughts and prayers. Ricky, what'd you think of the Georgia-Kentucky game, man? Did you see it at all? Did you see the highlights?
I did. I thought Georgia is what Georgia is, and they brought Kentucky back down to earth. Georgia had 10 guys rush the ball. They just pounded the ball on the ground. Georgia was able to do anything that they wanted to do. And I saw some comments on social media, Twitter, where people were saying Georgia shouldn't be 1, they should be 4 or 5. They haven't done this, they haven't done that. And my comment back is the same it's going to be today. They're number 1 until somebody beats them.
Yeah.
Ric Flair said it best. To be the man, you got to beat the man.
You got to beat the man. And that's,
woo.
I mean, look, I think Georgia's 2 toughest tests coming up is Florida and Tennessee to finish out their schedule. And I think they
How's Florida a test?
No, I'm being sort of sarcastic.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, you ain't lying, dude. I mean, it is what it is because we all know how I feel about Tennessee's quarterback. I'm not color me unimpressed. I'm not impressed with that kid. And Florida, look, I'll give Florida credit for one thing. That is the most heckling, they are the two-faced team. I can't get it out right, but it's a two-faced team. They are either rock solid or just a leaking sieve. There is no in between with that team. So I'll be watching with side eye, see what happens there. Notre Dame fell. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
Well,
Ricky.
I was just going to finish with, I think Georgia runs the table.
Yeah.
SEC's in a down year, and if they were going to have to rebuild that structure, this would be the year to do it. This would be the year to do it. Notre Dame went down, and I know all the Notre Dame haters out there are loving life right now because this.
I'm so sad.
Going into halftime, it was close. It was close until the fourth quarter, and then Louisville just pulled away. And the kid from Notre Dame, if I remember correctly, was it? Yeah, 3 interceptions. He just gave the game away. He just gave it away, man. I don't know what happened there. He played pretty rock solid ball all year. Ricky, I'll let you go. I know you're not a big fan of these guys.
Well, I got to confess, I didn't catch the last quarter. I got busy, caught up doing other things. But look, I give Louisville a lot of credit. They were able to run the ball, throw the ball. They handled Notre Dame's defense. Seemed like they were picking up the blitz. I give the Cardinals a lot of credit.
Ron, did you happen to catch it?
Oh yeah, I hate Notre Dame.
Go ahead, lay it on me. I know you've been hot on them all year.
So do I.
They got straight up bullied, and they couldn't respond. That's the whole thing. They got bullied. They got punched in the damn mouth, and they made them look like little bitches that they are.
It's just we've been waiting on them to go down again all year. They haven't looked particularly strong. They haven't looked like a dominant team. I don't know what else to say about that team. I don't think they should be ranked in the top 20, but here they are. That's like you can't get rid of them. What happened in the game, Ricky? What just happened? I know it was on first and third. What happened? Give me a live update here.
It's first and third. Turner just got an infield hit.
Shit! Well, here comes one of my favorite segments of the show. All the people eating crow about Alabama. It's time. Just keep shoving the crow in your face. Every one of you that doubted Nick Saban. Everybody
I was looking
that
forward to this. Absolutely.
So was I. Because this was going to be a tough test. And there were a lot of guys, a lot of experts on the SEC channel coming into this game talking about how it's just Alabama's not going to be able to win. Texas A&M's too strong. They're just too good of a team. And Nick Saban, once again, a good coach does what he's got. Milroe threw for 300 yards in this game.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming. He was
very efficient. He was very efficient.
And it was clear early that Texas A&M was not going to let them run this ball. That it wasn't going to happen. I mean, they said, you're going to have to show us if this kid can throw it to beat us. And he did. And he did it in the third and fourth quarter when it mattered most. And he came up huge when it mattered most. I was thoroughly impressed. You guys got anything for this? Rod, we're good. Ricky, you got something?
I'll tell you what, I was thoroughly impressed with Bama too. That is Bama football. I mean, they only had, I think, 23 yards rushing. Yeah. But I was just impressed with their defense. They kept coming after Johnson. They kept making plays. I remember a couple weeks ago, maybe it was the first or the second week of the season, we're talking about Bama. They're young. They're tackling guys. Bama just looked like that Alabama team against a good Texas A&M team.
Yeah, Texas A&M was good. I was impressed by them. The kid, the linebacker, Dallas Turner. I've been seeing a lot of stuff. On social media and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. 4-1. I know. 4-1. It's getting ugly quick.
Woo!
Back to the regular scheduled channel.
I'm sorry, Ron.
It's all good, bro. Hey, if the Angels were playing
love you guys.
Anyway, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about the Dallas Turner kid and being compared to like a Michael Parsons. And so I wasn't really buying it until I saw him play this week, and he balled out. Alabama still had a problem with penalties. They need to fix that. They need to fix the penalty situation. But Alabama's found a way to win. They knew that the running game was going to go, so they let the kid throw, and he threw good.
Yeah, I was impressed that he was able to throw it. They got 344 yards with 306. Like I said, color me impressed. Alabama's defense came to play. The penalties were bad. It was 14 penalties. That's especially in this, it's not going to work, man. So I was impressed. Alabama found a way to win on the road. That's what good teams do. They find a way to win. And other news, Oklahoma and Texas had one of the best Red River shootouts I can remember in a long time.
Lord. Yeah.
That game was exciting as hell. It reminded me why I was a college football team. Ewers made 2 big errors, and I think that's what cost him in the end, man. He really did. The Gabriel kid, he wasn't flashy, but he did just enough. His running is where they really excelled in this game. I really hadn't watched a whole lot of Oklahoma this year. I didn't realize that kid could scoot like that, and I'm not really sure Texas did either the way they were looking at that game.
No.
Go ahead, Ron.
Well, Ron, go ahead, Ron.
that was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. They both were just throwing blows. Now, what did you guys think of the broadcast with Pat McAfee on the sidelines?
I think he's an idiot.
See,
He's a douche. I know. I don't mind him, but what's up with the shirt? Take the wife beater off. Wear a shirt. Wear a hoodie.
Anyway, but I think that was a good game, but I think there was a questionable no pass interference call that should have been called against Oklahoma that could made a difference in the game. But anyway, you shouldn't let non-penalties like that cost you. But it was a good game. I don't see it. I think you posted something about Gabriel being on the Heisman watch now.
Ron, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
I don't see
it either.
No.
Well, you know what they say, right? Like they're going to look at teams that are in the final stands, right? Who's in the playoff hunt? Who's in that undefeated streak? And the quarterback, when they don't have a superstar player at running back or wide receiver, that's who they're going to look at. And they don't have a superstar at running back or wide receiver, but they seem to have a superstar quarterback emerging. I mean, we talk about it every year, right? The Heisman is not always how you start; it's how you finish. It seems that when you finish hot, you're the guy that gets that press love. I was thoroughly entertained with this game. Loved every minute of it.
It was a great game.
I can't wait to watch these two teams in the SEC next year. Super excited about it. Ohio State rolled against Maryland. That was actually, I don't know if you guys saw much of that game. Like I said, I was up at Buffalo Wild Wings this week. That game going into halftime was tied.
It was good.
And going into the fourth quarter, it was only a separation of 3 points.
Yeah.
But Ohio State they just had more athletes. They out-athleted them. Like that quarterback for Ohio State, his name is slipping me right now. I'm not impressed with that kid right now. You've got Marvin Harrison Jr. out there. He is absolutely the best receiver in the land. McCord, that's his name. His numbers are 320 yards. I watched that ball game. He got a lot of late stuff, right? Like a lot of late stuff. A lot of late yards, I should say. Not impressed with the kid. He's not really – I think he's going to be a hindrance to this football team if he cannot figure out a way to get the ball down the field. Ohio State is built right now for speed down the field. Ricky, did you see it?
I saw parts of it. I got to tell you, I am not impressed with Ohio State yet. I'm more impressed – like – I saw some people putting them 1, maybe 2. No way. I'm more impressed with Florida State and Penn State and even Washington than I am with Ohio State. I mean, yes, it was a close game first half and they kind of pulled away, but kind of my eye test. I don't really love Ohio State like I have in the years past.
Right. I get that. Ron, did you see it? Got anything?
Yeah. I watched the first part. They're going back and forth that and another game. So I'm kind of like you. I don't see. I'm not that impressed with the quarterback of Ohio State. He seems to miss some throws to Harrison Jr. and just who they really played too.
Yeah,
not much.
Look, what it's going to come down to is what it comes down to every year. Michigan plays Penn State. Penn State plays Ohio State. Like once those teams beat each other up, and once it kind of shakes out at the end. That's going to be who's standing. It could be Ohio State. I don't think it's going to be, though. But
no, I don't think so either. There was a couple of other games I want to touch on real quick. 2 trailer park girls going around the outside. No, I'm sorry. That was not 2 trailer park girls. That was LSU's defense and freaking USC's defense. Which one do y'all want to talk about first? Which shitty episode of defense should we talk about? I'll tell you what. It doesn't matter because they both won, so let's talk about what it is. USC with that defense is not going anywhere. That was a pathetic effort when you've got to go to – how many overtimes did that game go? I have lost count. Was it just one because it got – it was
3.
1 overtime.
It went to 3.
It was 3. Okay.
3 overtimes.
It went to Williams doing a magic trick for the 2-point conversion that I don't know how he got in the pylon, but he did. But I miss USC. I don't know. Seems like a lot of not just USC but other colleges teams are building their teams more offensively than defensively now. That's why I see a lot of these high scores. I miss the Ronnie Lott days. I miss the William McGinnis days. I miss the Junior Seau days of USC defense. The USC defense back in the day, they were legit. They were always in the top 10. Now they ain't worth a shit now. What's gonna happen when they go into Big Ten next year?
Yeah,
they're going to get their asses whooped because they can't stop anybody. And I
What do y'all have your radio on or something? I hear background noise for some reason. Anyway, the one thing that struck me about this game, Caleb Williams didn't have a strong game, right?
I was
really
just going to say that.
Go ahead, Rob.
He had a strong game running the ball. I mean, he had three rushing touchdowns, but passing the ball, he was pedestrian.
Yeah.
USC couldn't stop the run to save their life. Couldn't stop the run.
They couldn't protect Caleb Williams either. And then the kid from Arizona, him and the other kid, they're both from Servite. How do you let a freshman do that? Play like that and not?
Yeah, he had five passing touchdowns against USC's defense. I mean, that's
it's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, the bigger thing is that.
Go ahead, Don.
The biggest thing is they allowed 200 rushing yards on them. Gaudy 200 yards.
You just took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead. You've got it there in front of you.
No. I was just going to say Arizona just pounded the ground on them. I mean, they just pounded them. USC couldn't stop them. I mean, I don't know if you can't stop Arizona, and I don't know what kind of team Arizona is. I mean, they seem decent, but you're going to have a tough time stopping the likes of Michigan and teams who can run the ball. Georgia, even Alabama, those type of tough teams.
It was so when I fell asleep with the game on and I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning here locally. And it was just me freaking out like, what? Why is this a damn overtime game? This shouldn't have been on there. No. I didn't get it. Big draft, that was not me. That is absolutely Ricky Libbs hating on the wife beater. That is not me. He's also celebrating because I'm sure his Phillies just did something else that I don't want to hear about.
Are you sure?
Let me guess. It's down the top of the bottom of the fourth.
Yep. Bottom of the third, 6-1. Phillies still at bat, 2 outs.
Jesus. Yeah. They're a mess. This thing is over. On to the next day. I got nothing for you.
All right.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
Oregon State won. Oregon State won a shootout against Cal. Didn't see that coming. I didn't catch any of that game. Ron, you're on the West Coast. Did you catch any of that?
No. For some reason, a lot of these Pac-12 games aren't being shown on YouTube TV. So I'm not
really.
Yeah. Unless it's like even the SC Notre Dame game is going to be on one of the bigger channels. So I'm not getting them.
Okay.
No, I didn't see Colorado either.
Dang.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Going in this week, I know we talked about top 25 last week. I didn't even realize Fresno was rated, and then they are not rated anymore because they lost their first game.
Shit.
So that was kind of shocking. The upset of the weekend by far was Georgia Tech and Miami with the dumbest damn play I've ever seen in my life. What the hell are you doing? What are you doing?
I was hoping we talked about that.
Quarter, you take a knee, you jackass. What are you doing?
I'll give the guy credit. I'll give the coach credit. He owned up to it.
Hell no. I don't give a shit.
Hold on. The guy owned up to it, but that doesn't matter. He should be fired. Monday, he should have been fired on the spot.
Here's what I'll say. I don't give a shit if he owned the mistake. He made the play call. That was the dumbest decision. Did he never see the Eagles and the Giants in the 70s and 80s? Does he not know that's how the damn deal came to be? Because some stupid son of a bitch did the exact same thing? What are you doing, you moron? If I was a Miami fan, I'd have been on the first plane smoking to Miami, standing in front of his office with a please quit sign. Stupidest thing I've seen all year in college football. Not even close. What a clown show. Ron?
Breathe, my brother, breathe.
Gonna have a stroke talking about this dumbass.
I know. I think he's mad because I updated the score.
I was wondering if the coach made that call or did the quarterback decide to do that himself. So that makes it even worse when the coach made that call because he's been around. He's been around. He coached Oregon 2 years ago.
Terrible, just terrible. And
so, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Miami was actually doing pretty good this year. They were 4-0. They were top 20. You could
rolling.
See,
they were rolling.
And that takes the legs right out from under you, man. Oh my gosh. I don't want to spend too much time talking about Miami, but if you're Miami's players, how can you trust your coach to put you in the right position after that dumbass does that.
Yeah.
I'm not trusting that guy again. There's
That's
not
what
a
I mean.
chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
You lost the respect of the locker room.
Out here playing like a dumbass, man.
All right,
Jeez Louise.
Time to move on.
Yeah, so LSU and Missouri, right? Like we were talking about the bad defenses a minute ago. This we talked about it the last couple of weeks now. LSU's defense is just a joke at this point in time. It is pathetic. It'd be one thing if they could stop the run or they could stop the pass. They can't stop either one of these things. No. Missouri's quarterback had a career day, 400 yards. And if it wasn't for Daniels, they lose this game running away because that kid was a one-man band out there. 130 rushing yards, 259 passing yards, 4 touchdowns total. I have nothing to say but wow if you're an LSU fan. Nothing to say. You just got to hold on. You got to white knuckle it this year, man. There's no other way around this. You have a bad defense. You got to hope that offense can somehow score 45 points every week to have a shot. You really do. I was dumbfounded. They can't get better. And here's the other thing. One of those LSU defensive linemen is projected to be a first-round pick. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your skull? He can't stop a wet blanket. You going to tell me he's a number one damn player or one of the top defensive linemen coming to this draft? Kiss my ass, Mel Kiper. You have been smoking too much ganja. Your hair's on too tight. Something's wrong with you. Stop eating all them crab cakes. All that mercury's fried your dome, dude.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Don, it's just your show. Don, it's just your show today, brother. Go ahead.
No, I got a lot of problems with you people.
Well, wait a minute. We didn't even talk Broncos yet. We're still on college.
I'm getting there. No, hell no. Jesus Christ. God, take me now.
Oh,
Ricky poking the bear, man.
I love it. I love it.
Washington State getting upset by UCLA. Not really. It wasn't a shocker to me. I don't think a lot of people are giving UCLA the credit they deserve. That's a good football team.
Yeah.
I don't know why Washington State was rated so highly. I think the Pac-12's getting a whole lot of love this year. It's, how do I put it? The Pac-12 is either we are the greatest thing ever or they are donkey sweat. Like those are the two options you have right now. I think Washington is the team to beat. We've already talked about USC's defense.
Yeah.
So that was, I know it's an upset on paper, but it wasn't too big of an upset. I don't think Washington State should have been rated that highly. And I think UCLA should have been 15 or 14 coming into that game. UNC. This game I was curious about against Syracuse. We had talked about it a little bit. It could be sneaky good. Somebody forgot to tell Mr. Drake May not to open up a can of whoop ass because that young man was slinging that rock. He was like, "Oh, I got problems with all of y'all." That kid had almost 500 yards of total offense.
Yeah,
I mean a total offense because he had 442 passing and another 55 rushing. That kid was all over, and he started slow. Ricky, did you watch any of it? What'd you like about it?
I actually did because I picked that as sort of the game to watch. I thought it was going to be, but Syracuse got exposed, and North Carolina is actually a pretty good team. I didn't realize that kid Drake May was. He was like you said, he had 500 total yards, 3 touchdowns. And I said, I think Syracuse just got exposed. They really couldn't move the ball. Their quarterback, Garnett, they just couldn't move the ball. So, Carolina proved why they're in the top 15.
Every time I look at this goddamn Georgia Tech score, it makes me angry again. I got to scroll past this. Lord have mercy. Ron, what'd you think? Did you catch any of that game? I know that was early for you, bud.
Yeah, I want to check a little bit of the Drake May kid because I've heard a lot about him. Even last year, hearing a lot about him.
Yep.
He's good.
He's everything is advertised. I think he's hearing all this rhetoric about Caleb Williams and Sanders, all these other quarterbacks getting all this love, and they're forgetting how good he is. He's probably the most pro-ready quarterback out there in college right now.
Ron, that's a great point. Great point.
You can plug and play him. That's what I think.
He's a big kid too. Like he's a big NFL built type guy, big arm, big frame. Point.
And he plays smart too.
He looks like he's built for this game, man. He really does. Was there anything else that we missed from this godforsaken weekend of college football with stupid penalties, stupid mistakes? Oh, Michigan, Minnesota. Hey, Michigan, we were talking about it earlier this season, right? They weren't scoring any more than 31 points. They were sort of at 31 or 32 points. Here they come. Michigan's getting hot again. I'm looking forward to seeing this. I'm going to see what happens. You guys catch any of that? Because I just caught, a lot of the highlights. I was flipping the Big Ten. It seemed every time I flipped over to watch their game, they were scoring again. Just out of nowhere. Scored again, scored again.
I got to be honest. I just caught highlights. That's all I caught on that. I was watching too much. I was in and out. So I didn't really watch it, but they're a good team. They're a really good team.
Ron, got anything?
No, they just dominated. I was going back and forth until it got out of hand, and I just kind of stopped watching.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much covered it in the college world as far as games we just had. Are there any games you guys are dying to see this weekend coming up? Because I got one I can't wait to watch.
I'll tell you what. I'll start. I can't wait to watch Oregon, Washington. That's my game this weekend.
Oregon, Washington. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously the top matchup of the weekend. I'll give you that one.
I just want to see Penix. I want to see him against a good defense.
Ron, what do you got?
I was going to say that. I was going to say that game, but
he took your thunder.
I know.
Got to do something.
I'll say Notre
Sorry,
Dame
Ron.
SC. Notre Dame. I'll say Notre Dame SC.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Are you going to watch the battle of the, oh my God, this sucks?
Hey, it's Notre Dame SC, brother. I've been watching this game.
I know it's an old school matchup, and I get that, but nothing about this game excites me. And here's why. We just saw what Notre Dame is, right? They're just that quarterback from Wake Forest. He ain't him, right? He started off the year looking great. And I think people sort of remembered, oh, yeah, that's a kid from Wake Forest. We could blitz the shit out of this guy. We forgot to do that early on. The game I'm looking forward to, Tennessee and Texas A&M, because I'm calling the upset right now. I'm going to call the upset right now. I just I don't like anything that Tennessee's quarterback is doing. As a kid from Tennessee, why aren't they giving the freshmen? I'm not going to get into it now. I'll save that rant for next week. Let's talk about some NFL action, right? We kicked off Thursday night with some bullshit. What the hell, Washington, were you thinking coming into this game where you just let Fields undress you like a cheap hooker? This was awful. This was awful all the way around. There's no way to sugarcoat this game. Me being in Central Virginia, you would have thought somebody had died Friday morning when I went out there and played golf. Every Washington fan I know had their head down, kicking cats, madder than hell. It's like, wow, man, what happened? They're like, did you not see the game? Did you not see the game? It was terrible. Did you guys watch it? What'd you think? Ron, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I watched it. It's football. I'm going to watch it. They couldn't. At times, I think they were overly aggressive on DJ Moore and trying to jump the passes instead of defending him.
Hold on, Ron, before you go any further. You think they were trying to defend him?
No.
I missed that part. They were just playing Olay.
No. They're being I think they're being overly aggressive and trying to get interceptions instead of trying to defend him.
Oh, God.
Ricky, I know. The one kid, Forbes, who's 165 pounds, and he got benched because he.
Yeah, I bet I would have benched his ass too. That kid was terrible out there. That kid looked.
What I don't understand is Rivera and maybe Jack Del Rio, maybe it's past their time. Maybe there's no more rhyme or reason because their front four is good, but how? Yeah, it was just a mess. Good, good for Fields. Me and Rick have been talking about Fields and not giving up on him, and good for him. He's been doing good the last 2 weeks. So maybe he's starting to come around too. And maybe he just needed to eat like he did. Damn, that was just.
I'll tell you what, I was shocked. I mean, I don't usually say that, especially in the NFL. And I don't really care about the Bears and the Commanders, but I was shocked that they scored 40 points. Yeah. I just was. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. They just, I don't know, coaching wasn't making any kind of adjustments. Maybe they were trying, maybe they were going for the interceptions and it just wasn't working. But, you got to scheme that as the coaches, whether you're Rivera or you're the defensive coordinator or whatever. They just, for like lack of a better term, they had no plan. And you should be able to defend a Bears team whose offense isn't, Joe Montana and the 49ers. They're just an average offense.
There's no second half adjustments, period.
You gave up 40 effing points to again, I don't want to listen. I'm actually, I'll be honest with you, I'm glad that the Bears won because it gives Washington a loss. But I don't know what team Washington is. I mean, one week they look okay. The next week they give up 40 freaking points to the Bears. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Let me add one more thing to that too. Just the fact that they lost all the running backs and had a fullback playing pretty much the whole second half.
Yeah.
It still was giving up points.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm going to give you my buddy's impression of Ron Rivera actually during the game all night. We gonna cover that son of a bitch? He is running everywhere. That was his game plan all night. Are we gonna cover that son of a bitch? Nope. All right. Well, that's that.
Yeah. I just.
All right. I'll put the shovel away. I think we've buried these clowns enough.
We've spent enough time talking about that turd.
The game that got my attention was the Jaguars and the Bills Sunday morning, right? Like,
yeah, man.
I'm not a big fan of Sunday morning football at 9 a.m. It's usually not very good. It's usually sloppy football. Quietly, the Jaguars defense has gotten better and better and better, right? I mean, it's just been better and better this year. This was the game where they started to really put it together. That's a slippery guy to try to grab. I know Josh Allen had 359 yards in the game. I want to say like 70 of them were on that garbage time drive to get him with the touchdown and like 4 plays, and then Jacksonville just ran out the clock.
You're exactly right. Yep.
Ron, I know it was early for you. I don't think you caught this one. You just catch the highlights, bud?
Actually, I did because I wasn't feeling good, so I stayed home, didn't go to church and stuff. So, I watched football instead. Jacksonville came to play. They're more prepared. And I don't know if it's fact because they stayed there in London, so they didn't have to travel, and maybe weren't as tired. Maybe that was it too. I don't know, but Buffalo looked flat at times when Jacksonville did it.
They looked like
they couldn't stop Eaton. How do you say his name?
They looked like they got punched in the mouth and didn't know how to respond to me. That's the way it looked to me.
Yeah,
I thought it was good. Phillies dropped 6-1. Son of a bitch. All right. Indianapolis and Tennessee. This kind of hurt my feelings because that kid got hurt, man. Richardson got hurt in this game.
Yeah.
And they're saying now,
I like that kid.
Grade 3 AC joint. They're saying he's going to be out up to 8 weeks now, man. Up to 8. Man. Yeah. That's what they're saying is he could be out up to 8 weeks. So it's going to be the Gardner Minshew show. Tennessee sucks. There is no way around it. This team has put its identity this whole year on stopping the run, and Indianapolis came out there and bullied them into the ground to the tune of 193 rushing yards. Zach Moss had a 56-yard run in this game. Zach Moss. Let that sink in. Zach Moss had a 56-yard run.
Yeah.
Not the other kid, not Taylor, Zach Moss. I don't know what to say about Tennessee. I think it's time to, you've got 2 more losses in this team before you've got to start looking at the next quarterback in line because Tannehill's at the end of his rope. People don't realize that guy's well into his mid-30s. He's not a spring chicken anymore. You can see some of his skill sets are declining. Ricky, did you catch any of it?
Yeah, I did. And I want to say, you touched on it, Don. I feel bad for that kid Richardson. I really like that kid.
Yeah,
he's a really nice young player. He's been doing some really nice things. Hopefully he can come back, and get healthy and help that team out. I think with Taylor coming back, it's going to help Indy. Maybe they could take some of the load off of Minshew. He's definitely going to help. So you have Taylor, you have Moss. So if Minshew can just kind of manage the game, which that's what he is, I'll tell you what, the Colts are not that bad. So
They've got a solid foundation. They got a solid foundation.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to have. I don't think it's going to be a huge drop off from Richardson to Minshew.
But it's a drop off in terms of what he can do outside of the pocket, because that's a big kid, and he can get up that field. Minshew will be better prepared to throw the ball, but he doesn't have that rocket. And I know Zach Moss has been balling this year, but 56 yards to Tennessee, I would have put money on that. That would have never happened. It's I don't know, man. We're going to see what happens with this team. Ron, did you have anything on it than what we said? Because I can't wait for this next point.
Yeah, because I had Richardson in my fantasy.
Fantasy.
And I'm crying. I'm 2-3 in my home league, and 2 of the losses have been caused because the quarterback is injured, Rodgers and Richardson. But I like.
Well,
Denver's. Oh, geez, not Denver, but
don't you go.
Indianapolis is playing. They're playing good football for having a first time coach and everything. They're playing good, solid football. They don't make too many mistakes. They're actually playing for first place this weekend. They're a solid team. I think instead of the course and Minshew plays within the game, they're going to be fine. Especially with I think they're saying that the touches with Moss and Taylor, when he gets back 100%, be like a 70-30, 60-40 kind of thing, because they still they need to keep Taylor fresh.
And as far as Tennessee goes, Fantasy Football Addict says Will Levi's not the answer. Don't forget they got that kid from Liberty. They're not giving up on. I think he's actually the second string quarterback. I don't know they have their their future starter on the team, but I know what they have right now, and it's just not going to be enough, I don't think, to win that division. On to New Orleans, New England, because man, son, you laid an egg at home, Bill Belichick, and I don't think I've ever said that in my life that I can remember. Bill Belichick has got a serious problem on this team right now where they can't do anything right. They can't run offense right. They can't run defense right. And if you look at the numbers, Derek Carr did not have a career day. He didn't go crazy. It was $168. For the team, he didn't go crazy. The running game, which is something that you rarely see out of them, they couldn't stop the run. They gave up 136 total yards. Mac Jones was throwing picks like it was his job. I don't know what else to say. I will say this, Larry, I knew you'd be excited about this segment, buddy. I've been reading online this week, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in there. This is going to go under the goddamn clown category, saying that Belichick needs to resign after this season. The man has won you decades worth of Super Bowls. You let that man leave when he's good and damn ready to walk out the door. You let Tom Brady leave when he's good and ready to walk out the door. These fans today have got no loyalty to anybody. Bill Belichick, more than anybody, has earned a chance to redeem himself if he so chooses. I think he's 70 years old now, right? He's not going to be there forever. From an overall standpoint, though, you've got to go back to the drawing board if you're Bill and say, okay, what I've run in the past didn't work. What do I have on this team that will work? Because these morons preaching, you got to get rid of Bill. Shut the hell up. Your teammate probably done shit in 20 years. Sit your ass on the bench, play your video games, smoke your dope, and do something else with your time because you don't know ball.
Don, take a deep breath, buddy.
I'm going to kill somebody in his sons of bitches.
I posted something about should Belichick resign or be fired, and it got a lot of hits.
That makes no sense to me. Like, I don't
look. It's not too often in professional sports where a player of Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, or people like that, and I don't say this often, they've earned that right to go out on their own terms, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the guy won 7 Super Bowls in 20 years for your franchise. He put that franchise on a historic map. Robert Kraft is not going to fire him. He's just not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Now, if you want to ask the question, should they look for a new coach? Well, that's a whole different thing. but I am not a subscriber of fire the guy because, you have a bad team this year. You're going through offensive trouble or whatever. I mean, Bill Belichick, and again, it's the Patriots. I'm not even supposed to like him, but I got respect for that guy. And that guy has earned that right for what he has done on that franchise. So,
their offensive line is kind of a mess right now too. So if Mac Jones isn't getting the freaking time to throw, because when he has time to throw, he can throw
to the other team. I agree.
Yeah. And,
well, look,
and plus it's a whole new system with Bill O'Brien too. So there's growing pains. They need a number one receiver.
They have no offensive weapons. They have none.
None.
They have none.
And I think Belichick should quit making personnel decisions.
Draft picks.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's time for him to step out of at least the GM box and get somebody that has a full-time job doing it.
Yeah.
But the coaching, leave him alone. The man's earned time.
Yeah. I don't want to hear a guy can't coach all of a sudden. He just doesn't have the team right now. But it doesn't mean he's not a good coach. It just doesn't mean that.
And plus, he wants to coach because he wants to beat Don Shula's all-time winning record or coaching record, wherever that is. So
I also know they lost their number one pick, which is going to hurt that defense because that kid from Oregon was really balling out. So that's going to hurt. But we'll see where this goes. On to Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And I saw this game, and I am pretty sure that Lamar Jackson's wide receivers are DJs on the weekend because they let everything drop. It dropped through their hands long.
Good one, Don.
It dropped through their hands short.
Good one.
They dropped passes. I couldn't believe the drops that Lamar Jackson had in this game. It was insane to me, the amount of drops. I don't have the numbers in front of me on the drops, but I saw 2 touchdowns. I saw 1 long bomb that would have probably been a touchdown. I saw an out that would have been a touchdown. It was absolutely terrible. And then the end of the game, the defense just decides we're not going to cover their best receiver. Go score that touchdown and win the game for your team. The other part of this, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, Matt Canada's got to get his ass fired. That dude or whatever they're doing on offense is terrible. We said it last week. Tomlin's loyal to a fault. That was some ugly football. I didn't care a whole lot about it. I thought Baltimore was a better team and should have won. And I think there should have been some serious discussions with the wide receivers after that game. And maybe it's time to get on that trade cycle because there's going to be some teams selling here soon, and I know one of them for sure.
Yeah.
There were 7 drops in that
just
game.
Absurd.
The funniest one was Zay Flowers just going out for his route and then just falling.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been a long touch. I was happy.
Ron said he's out.
Hey, I'm just going to add real quick. I remember at the beginning of the year, they were talking about getting Lamar Jackson some offensive weapons. They signed Beckham. He was the big signing. And you know what? That guy is a turd. He's washed up.
I didn't know why they did it. I didn't know why they did it. His speed's gone. I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's gone. He's just another receiver. That's all he is. Yeah, so I'll tell you what. Again, you spoke about a team that might be having a fire sale, and we'll probably get to that soon.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Well, 2 of those guys who are receivers on the team that you're talking about would actually fit in Baltimore and would probably help them out. Hello?
I'm back.
What's going on here?
Matrix is getting our ass, man. Bill Belichick and his posse are hunting us ass down right now.
Should we text Ron to make sure he's okay?
I think he can get back. They might have his ass in a van right now down by the river. But yeah, what were the teams you're saying that are selling right now?
Well, your Broncos.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't. I wasn't saying nothing. God.
So next game, I want to talk about Atlanta, Houston. CJ Stroud right now for me, rookie of the year coming out. Still hasn't thrown a interception. I was thoroughly impressed. Ricky, you there?
I'm here. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, you looking at it. I was impressed with it. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it because it wasn't like it was a barn burner. It was one of those games where you had a couple of impressive rookies on the field, and I watch them at all times. They were shutting Bijan Robinson down, though, on defense. They weren't going to have that. They were shutting him down. Stroud played well. They said, hey, you know what, Atlanta, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to throw the ball some. And lo and behold, he wasn't – Desmond Ridder threw 300 yards. just
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Impressive. Tip your hat. I mean, that's all
I'll
you can say. Tip
I'll
your
tell
hat.
you what. You know what? It's kind of funny. Normally this is like a garbage game, but I could see these two teams. I think are two teams that in like 2, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, maybe 3, they're kind of building it. And I think these are two of those teams that you're going to see kind of
Right.
take over in the next couple of years. I really do.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
because each team has some talent. Each
They
team
do.
has some talent.
And
So-
both are building defense fast. Both
Yes.
of them. Yeah, I mean, I was impressed.
And
with
I love the coach of Texas. I
Oh
love
God,
him.
yes, love that guy.
Love him.
I wish
Love him.
Denver could
Love
have
him.
got him, but he didn't want to come. So that's another story.
Yeah.
On to Carolina and Detroit. I mean, somebody better get these Lions under control because they're roaring right now.
Yeah.
They're roaring. This team they got it going on. They only had 1 sack, but they just didn't let Bryce Young and this team get any kind of momentum early, and it sort of paid off. They scored
Yeah.
2 garbage time touchdowns, but by
Yeah.
then it was way out of hand. I don't know how long you guys want to cover this. It was what it was.
No, I'm just going to add, you know what? The Lions are doing 2 things that they haven't always done in the past. They're running the ball and they're playing defense.
Well, you say they haven't done it well. They haven't done it since Barry Sanders. That was the last
Well,
time they ran it consistently.
I'm going
I
back
just
30
told
years.
my age. I just told my age.
All right. I mean, me too. I'm going back 30 years. So, yeah.
Right. The Giants-Miami game. I guess the biggest news out of this is that Miami's going to be down one of their top weapons for a while.
For a while. Yeah.
He's on the IR now, so that's at least 4 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
And that kid only had 11 carries, but he had a $151 and a touchdown. He is juice, man.
It's
That
unbelievable.
kid is pure juice. And he took over from Mostert in this game, and a lot of people didn't realize that. He took over for him and was running wild. The Giants are a train wreck. I think we all know now.
They are just an embarrassment to the NFL. The Giants are an embarrassment in the league. I'm serious. I'm not laughing, Ron. I'm serious. They are an embarrassment. They're covering Tyreek. Wait, they're covering Tyreek Hill one-on-one. One-on-one coverage. What's wrong with you? Who does that?
Good idea.
I mean, come on.
Now, man, Miami's having Jeff Wilson should be coming back. That's going to help their backfield too. So
Yeah. But I mean, it's not going to replace that kid, man. A chain is just that kid's pure speed.
Yeah.
The Giants are clearly going to have to go after a quarterback, I think. I don't know if there's any other way around this.
Yeah.
So,
Quarterback. They're just brutal.
well, they got to get a quarterback. And the other part of this, though, man, is really their offensive line has just not been healthy.
they're
No.
I mean, they just haven't been healthy. Last year, they had one of the better units in the NFL, and they could run and pass. This year, they're not healthy, so we'll see if they get healthy later in the year, if they can at least get 4, 5, 6 wins out of this. But right now, it ain't looking good.
And this year, to see what happens when Saquon comes back too. That might help a little bit too.
Well, it won't hurt. I'll say that. I mean,
There you go. It's not going to hurt.
he'll get hurt, but it won't hurt him for the first 5
He might get hurt
carries.
again. Yeah.
5
Yeah.
touches and he's down.
Oh,
Cincinnati
man.
and Arizona had a football game that I watched with great interest because I drafted Jamar Chase in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
He ate.
And he finally showed up. So I'd like to
He
thank
ate.
you, Jamar Chase.
He ate a lot.
He ate a lot.
I mean,
Oh,
a buck
boy.
92 and 3. So he made up for a lot of bad weeks.
Yeah.
For the first time, you can see Joe Burrow stepping into his throws. I think maybe that calf is finally starting to heal. That or they're shooting his ass up with enough shit to where he don't feel it anymore. Cardinals, I give them credit. We talked about it last week. They're a tough out, but they just don't have the horses to get that team going.
No.
Philadelphia, here we go, Ricky. I know you've been waiting on this. And Ron, this was y'all's showdown this week.
Yeah.
Showdown.
It was close until it wasn't close as far as output went. The score doesn't indicate how tight the game was,
Yeah.
but it seemed to me that every time the Eagles needed a big first down, they got it. And it seemed to me that in the second half, the Rams couldn't convert. It's y'all's team. Ron, I'll let you go first because I know
Go
Ricky's
ahead,
going
Ron.
to throw a
Okay.
whole lot.
All right. So, what I've been saying about the Rams' Achilles heel all season long, the defense-wise, they can't cover down the middle. You have, and talk about 97 Hope, who is freaking trying to chase Goddard 37 yards down the field. There's no reason why that's just, anyway. Rams need to fix the holes. They'll be good. don't know why the Rams offense is so inept in the second half. They're the third worst team in the NFL right now. I think there's a couple passes that were just barely off. 1 to 2 out well. One, I think Kupp ran he ran inside instead of going outside, or outside instead of going inside. The Rams are who they are. They're who they are. They played well. They had stupid penalties. The one on A.J. Brown, the horse collar. But they're who they are. I'm disappointed in the loss, but I'm not. Does that make sense? Because they fought. The defense did good. They held them to 6 points. The freaking the 52 seconds before the first happened, them to go down and score a touchdown. That was ridiculous, and that they just can't do that. They need to make the adjustments in the second half, and McVay knows that's on him too. And they need to make some adjustments on the defensive end. But they held Devontae Smith in check, and then I'm not too disappointed in them. Just they stopped running the ball too, which I don't understand why they did that. Because Williams was, he was averaged about 4 yards a carry. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what hurt them the most. They had look. I got to be honest. I was very impressed with the Rams' game plan for the first half. They had a really good game plan, but they couldn't run the ball. And what killed them in the second half was penalties, but time of possession. The Eagles were on the field for literally the whole second half. The Rams couldn't run the ball. When you can't run the ball, you can't control the clock.
Nope.
And so the Eagles were able to do that. Obviously, they have a better line. They're just more talented. But really what it came down to was the Eagles' game plan in the second half was to wear the Rams down. After Aaron Donald, they don't really have much in the way of getting at a quarterback. And I think that's what got the Eagles to the victory, was they were just able to run the ball.
Yeah.
They had time of possession, and they just wore the Rams down. That's all. That's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
That 37-minute time of possession was crucial.
That's
early on watching the game, because I was checking it out because you guys were playing each other, your teams were. Goddard has been missing in action all year. And in the first half of that game, they couldn't figure out a way to stop him, like you said.
No,
they couldn't stop him down the middle. I mean, the Rams they're tough out. I'll give you that much. But until they figure out how to cover a tight end, they might be in some real trouble now, because they really got exposed in that game.
Yeah.
They really did. On to the worst football team in the history of the world. The Denver Broncos played the Jets.
Wow.
This is an embarrassment of a team to watch. There is nothing positive about this football team in any way, shape, or form. There's two players on this entire team that I look forward to watching play every week. And one of them was a walking disaster film this weekend, and Mims fumbling every goddamn thing he touched. Like, you could tell he's a rookie. They had him doing some gadget plays. Sean Payton got cute. The defense is a can of ass. They couldn't stop a cold. They couldn't stop the running back to save their life. First half, they did pretty well. Second half, nope, complete donkey show. That's what this was. They are about to start selling the farm. If anybody wants Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton or Simmons, or you want to get one of our linebackers, please give my GM a call. Oh, wait, he's going to get shit canned because he's a joke too. This whole thing is terrible from the front down. Russell Wilson, I've been saying it for weeks, and you guys have been hearing me. His stats are good. His stats are good. The clowns online are saying it. Watch the game. He's not getting rid of the ball. He's protecting his stats. He took a damn sack in this game for a safety where he literally held the ball for 3.5 seconds and refused to get rid of it. Windows in the NFL are tight. You have got to pull that trigger. If it's a pick, at least I'll say, hey, he tried. But here's the thing. He's not even trying. He's protected his stats. Everything was a check down. And guess who led the team this year in completion yards this year? For the second time, it was another running back. And that's either the second or third time a running back has led the team in receiving yards. It's a disaster. We're stuck with Russell Wilson for at least 2 years. I'm ready to go outside and burn the whole goddamn forest down at this point in time. It's time to get draft picks, sell everything we've got. The only way we don't keep Russell Wilson is if we finish with that number 1 pick and it's going to be either Caleb Williams or Drake May. But I can tell you this much: if they finish with that number 1 pick, Russell Wilson will not be a Denver Bronco, and the Walmart family will be sucking down that salary cap for letting this GM make such a bad pick. What an asshat! I'm done with this team. On to something else. Kansas City.
Hold on.
God, don't bury me anymore.
Hold on. Don't ask me to add anything. I'm out.
Okay. Now Peyton came on in a press conference today saying that, oh no, we're not selling any.
He's full of shit. Right now, put it to you this way: you show me how many snaps those guys play tomorrow night. Sutton and Judy, count their snaps, because guess how many they played this last game? It was like 10 snaps. They already got it in their head. They're selling these guys. They're getting rid of these guys for 3rd and 4th round picks if they can, and they're moving on down the line. You cannot look at this team and go, that's a pretty good football team. Bullshit. That team sucks. Russell Wilson looks washed up. We got one damn guy that can catch the ball deep, and he can't catch it when it's on a punt return, so quit putting the rookie back there. I hate doing that shit. Quit putting rookies back there to return kicks and punts. He's got one big kick return this year. I get that. Kick return, you want to keep him back there, cool. And you tell him, if it's in the end zone, you take a knee. I don't give a shit. That's what you do. Yeah, I see a big draft energy. Javonte Williams is back tomorrow. Great. He'll probably get hurt, because that's what we're doing this year. We suck. God. Kansas City and Minnesota. Fucking Kansas City won.
Can I just add something real quick?
No.
Don, catch your breath. All right. What? Wait a minute. Let's stay on the Broncos theme here. All right. What happens this week against Kansas City?
They get blown out. Doors. I'm telling you right now, if you've got, what's his name, the running back for Kansas City, number 10, what the hell's that kid's name?
I got him. Isaiah Pacheco.
You play Pacheco.
I got him.
Career day coming, Jack. Liable to have 180 yards rushing, go to the strip club at halftime, come back and get another 20 yards, making shit rain like a titty bar all day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, Ron. I love it. He's fired up. Don's all fired up. I love it.
And I think Bryce Harper just hit a home run. So what the hell, Braves?
Number 2. And he looked at RCA at second base as he ran by him.
Okay, well, we got one tomorrow. This game's over. I ain't going to watch another second of this shit. Unbelievable. God, my teams are going to hell.
Wait, this perhaps may be the best podcast we've had all year. This is the best. I hope people are watching this. This is entertainment right here. Entertainment at its best.
I have tried to stay calm as a fan. I'm ready to lose my shit and start choking cats. That's what's happening.
Don, you're ready to lose your shit, or you are losing your shit?
Oh no, we haven't lost it yet.
Oh, this is.
Oh no.
If
you want to come back tomorrow night when I review the wrestling shit that went down last night, I'm going to lose my shit tomorrow. Tony Khan doing cocaine in the locker room like, woo, I'm not getting that right now. Kansas City won. I'm not giving Kansas City another second of my time. They won. The refs were there. They had on their red jerseys. I don't give a shit what anybody says. They're getting all the play. They're getting all the calls. There is one problem. I'll just say this. I'm going to move on. Kansas City, you ain't got no wide receivers, buddy. You ain't got one. You got a tight end, and that's all you got. So
yeah.
On to the ass beating of all ass beatings. Dallas, y'all got embarrassed.
They blow. Dallas blows.
Dak Prescott was an interception machine. Brock Purdy was methodical with that thing. Just undressed them every chance he got. George Kittle, nobody could cover that guy. They ran the exact same play the Lions did earlier in the game with that flea flicker down the line, the right sideline. That was San Francisco, man, is a machine right now. They
really are. They really are
killing everything. They had 4 sacks. It's a dominating team. Remember I said they were my Super Bowl pick? I'm sticking with them. That team's strong. San Francisco, tip your hat. You embarrassed the Cowboys. And what was, the Cowboys don't get embarrassed a lot. That was embarrassing. Yeah. That was downright embarrassing. And then to top it off, there was some shit talk later this week from Micah Parsons talking about, don't say anything. You might see us again. And then Deebo Samuel's like, we stopped scoring on you and ran the clock out. What are you talking about? That could have been worse. That was that. You know what that was to me? And I don't know if you guys agree or not. That was one coach undressing another coach on primetime television.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Now, all last year they're blaming Kellen Moore about the Dallas offense, and then they had McCarthy play calls. He is calling those same kind of play calls back in the 90s, early 2000s. He can't. His offense is not built for what they have. Now Dallas has CeeDee Lamb all pissed off because he's not getting the catches. He's not getting the looks that he should be getting. Pollard is non-existent pretty much. Something needs to change there. McCarthy needs a hand over the play calling, but then they have Kyle Shanahan as offensive coordinator, and he ain't worth a shit either. So they're a mess. They need to get their shit together. They need to find out their identity. Otherwise, they're not going to make it to the playoffs.
Look, I don't give a shit about Dallas. I hate the Dallas Cowboys with all my being. The two issues in Dallas: the head coach, I think, is overrated, and the quarterback is overrated. I am so sick of Dak Prescott. The Cowboys fans apologize for him and this, that, and the other. I'll tell you what, you have a number one wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, who is a number one wide receiver, but the reason why he's not a number one in Dallas is because he doesn't have a number one quarterback getting him the ball. That's the reason.
And then they got Brandon Cooks in the offseason to open up the top, take the top off, and they can't get him the ball. They're using him in the middle of the field. Well, yeah,
I think the Dak Prescott experience is over. On the flip side, Don, you said it. San Fran, they are fired. They are a buzzsaw. I don't see a weakness on that team on both sides of the ball. Purdy's he's above good. He does what he has to. They got offensive weapons. San Fran can run the ball. San Fran can play defense. San Fran, in my opinion, right now today, is the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
I would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it on this one because we talked about it a little bit. Shanahan is a quarterback whisperer. And if he couldn't get Trey Lance turned around, that tells me all I need to know about Trey Lance. And it also tells me all I need to know about Jerry Jones and them Cowboys. Terrible trade. Should have never got the guy. On to the last game of the week. And what I can only describe as one of the fuggliest football games I've seen all year. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Green Bay Packers were playing. Because, wow, Jordan Love, what's happened to you, young man? You look so good in the preseason. You look so good coming into the season. And you throw 3 ugly picks. You're throwing into tight coverage. It shouldn't be there where you're late on the ball. Like, I know you got to throw into tight coverage, but it's got to be on time. He was late with everything. The Raiders, I don't think had – how many turnovers did they have going into this game?
1.
Because it wasn't many.
1.
Okay, and they had 3 interceptions in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you all you need to know. Jimmy Garoppolo was Jimmy Garoppolo. It's maddening to watch that guy.
He is that guy. Oh, my God.
It is maddening to watch that guy play football.
Really?
I mean,
listen. I have my Bo Jackson jersey on, all excited. Maybe they're going to turn the corner. Maybe. No, the Jimmy Chief does the same she does. Those are shitty-ass pass. Can't make a freaking pass. And then you have freaking McDaniels. 2 minutes left in the game. Instead of running the ball with Jacobs for a 1-yard pickup, he does what he does. Goes for a field goal. And it freaking gets shanked.
Ricky's got a fan club in here.
Yeah.
It was bad, and I saw the shank field goal. This was ugly football, man. There was nothing positive about this game.
McDaniels needs to be fired. McDaniels needs to be fired.
Well, he won. He won the game. He
didn't win the game. They freaking Packers gave it to him by freaking.
Well, they might have gave it to him.
Throwing an inappropriate pass in the end zone when they had time left. I should have been like ecstatic that they won the game, but I was just like sick to my stomach because it went like that. That's just 17 points. They scored 17 points.
I'll tell you what. This is how much I dislike Jimmy G as a quarterback. I would take Dak. I would take Dak Prescott over him 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
God,
they need to start playing
because I'll tell you what. If you're a player and you're in that huddle and you're looking at the guy who's supposed to be the leader and the commander, and you look at this guy Jimmy G, I would have zero confidence in him. Zero.
I will say this much. I'd rather have either one of them than Russell Wilson right now.
Well, that's a pretty good point, Don. That's a pretty good point. Yeah.
That concludes our look, this past week. I'm glad you guys could join us. We got the end of the show we always do. Give me an NFL game you're looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pick my own team, and I know we usually say don't do that, but I'm going to give you 2 games. My team, because once they lose this son of a bitch, they can sell everything. Sell the stadium, sell Russell Wilson's parking spot, sell Judy, trade it all. Get rid of all of it. Get it all off my chest. Done. So that's real reason I'm looking forward to that. The game I'm really focused on is, believe it or not, Washington and Atlanta. Because I'm wondering if Washington can bounce back from that embarrassing performance on Thursday Night Football and come out and make a statement. Ron, what are you looking forward to?
Bucks of Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Sneaky good ball game right there. Nate Field's redemption tour.
The Buccaneers wearing the orange sickle uniforms. Oh, yeah. I'm interested in that game right there.
All right.
I'll tell you what I think is going to be a solid game. I'm looking forward to the Colts and the Jaguars.
Yeah.
We're going to see how that goes. We're going to see how that goes. That game, I got a feeling you're about to see Jacksonville put it on somebody's ass this weekend.
Really?
I just do. Yeah, I do. I don't know why. I just got that feeling. It's one of them deals.
Right, let me give you my upset of the week.
Go ahead.
Giants and Buffalo.
Whoa.
All right. Did you fall today? Hurt your head?
Nope.
Hurt something?
Nope. I know you think I'm crazy. I'm going with the Giants.
Smoking that Tai Chi, huh?
Only to cover, not to win. Only to cover.
Oh, okay.
I will give you my upset of the weekend, Houston over New Orleans at home.
I wouldn't be surprised with that because you don't know what Saints defense is going to show up.
Well, I just feel like Stroud is on the verge all year, and I think you're finally about to see one of them games where he finally busts free. So,
and I'll tell you what, I like that kid Collins that they have at wide receiver. Nico, he's coming on. I tell you what, there's something about that Texans team that they got some guts. That Texans team.
Gentlemen, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Yeah, if you guys aren't doing anything at 5 o'clock, go check out the Patrick Pucci Fantasy Football Show with NFL Rumors on there, and then you can ask him questions about the fire sale that possibly happened in Denver. It's a good space.
It ain't possible.
Yeah, it's good space to go to.
Yeah, so I'll check it out when I get a chance.
Yeah, that would be 8 o'clock Eastern time, right, Ron?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And if you're into wrestling, we're doing the SCM podcast tomorrow for wrestling, 6:30. Going to probably gonna lose my shit.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to be there just to hear your rant, Donnie.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
See you guys. Have a great night.